Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina Mohammed, and this is my screencast or overview of my final project for our tech course. I decided to do my project on MOOCs in higher education. This is my proposal to the provost or vice president that MOOCs should be implemented in our institution in order to develop a value of lifelong learning in our students and to develop faculty research and network in the academic community. And I have some title slides just to break up my presentation and organize it a bit better. So first I'm going to talk about what MOOCs are. I have a video on how they work and just the scale of them, how it can be reached to anyone from anywhere, as long as they have internet connection, of course. And I compare MOOCs to college courses just to show the differences between the two. It's mainly cost. But MOOCs are very similar to like an online course, but it is a lot more than that. There is a greater emphasis on participation and learning from each other and less of a rigid professor and student relationship. So these are MOOC providers, just a couple um, to show the different companies and what they do. They specialize in different types of subjects and fields. I also have a slide or two with the slide is just like an entire quote from my case study or from the case studies I found, just to emphasize what MOOCs are about and how they're beneficial to people and what they contain and what they can do. So the next subject I have are like who uses MOOCs, who are the participants, what are the users doing, what do they like about it, how has it affected them. This is just like a statistic, I guess, of how many people are using MOOCs. It doesn't seem like such a big number, but um, the user base is growing, and that's what I want to acknowledge is that like this is a emerging technology that's going to, you know, influence more people and connect more people if more people utilize it. Um, I have a map here because one of my case studies is based in Malaysia, so I thought it was fun to just include a little map as a graphic. And these are the key results from that Malaysian case study, which I will go into in my formal presentation when I upload it to VoiceThread and add comments, audio, maybe some video of myself. I'm not too sure about that. Once again, these are other key results, but how MOOCs affected higher ed faculty in the US, which is of course like professional development, which I will get into once again in the formal presentation. This was just like a fun slide I wanted to include. I like the little guy. Like he's raising his hand. He's like, no, wait. This can't be it. Yeah. So this section of my presentation, I wanted to acknowledge a counter argument for my project. I want people to know that I am aware of the drawbacks of MOOCs in higher education, what that can mean for the institution. So that's what I talk about here. I created like a web map or this little diagram to show some of the cons of MOOCs if it were implemented in higher ed. I just thought it was more interesting than like a bullet list, which I usually do. Um, and then I also have a video from Bill Gates who does support MOOCs, and he is a user within the MOOC community. However, he still acknowledges the cons of the system and um, the reason why they haven't been as successful or have as many users as it should. Um, and then, of course, after the counter argument, I just want to bring the presentation back to a place of strength, discuss why MOOCs are still beneficial to our higher education system, to our students, to our faculty. Um, I wanted to show this video of a higher ed student and his experience with the MOOC, and what he's learned and what he's gained out of being part of that community. And then I have what have we learned. This is kind of a discussion or like a summary of everything I've talked about. So I provided a SWOT analysis, so like the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of MOOCs in the higher education institution. Um, and it just is kind of like an analysis of everything I've already talked about. And then I also provide the research limitations, which I found that a lot of the case studies about MOOCs in higher education were international. A lot of international students are utilizing MOOCs because of the free and low cost. Rarely do they discuss or are there case studies about American students utilizing MOOCs. I assume just because the additional coursework is already too much to their like original coursework in college or university. So yeah, that's the limitations I found while doing this project. But finally, I also talk about how we can integrate higher education in, how we can integrate MOOCs into higher education, the benefits that they provide, and how we can validate MOOCs in the system through like degree supplements or course credits, which some MOOCs provide. Developing our community within the institution, like creating international ties, globalizing the school, depending on like what the students talk about with the other participants, like it could gauge or it could reach other students who wish to like come to our institution. Develop research for faculty where they may not have the funds from our institution to continue to do their research. And most importantly, just so people can explore topics and fields that they never did before and always wanted to try out. And this is my references page, and the rest is just like template slides from this theme or style I picked out. I know I picked out a really funky theme. It's not really that professional for a proposal to a higher ed administrator, but it was just a lot more fun to use, and I like the little guys. I like the graphics, the colors I think will, stand out and make the audience engaged. So yeah, just let me know if you have any suggestions, and thank you for watching.